In this video, I'm going to talk about the Clover Fraud Tools. So the last video I made about the fraud tools was a while back. And since then, there's been some new updates to it. So at the time you guys are watching this video, which is in October 10th, 2022. So keep in mind that the Clover's dashboard and features usually get updated. So what you see now may look different if you are watching this video, let's say in 6 months from now or in 2023. But as the time of this recording, I'm going to talk about the fraud tools and how you can use it to help with chargebacks or to minimize it, and what actions you can take. Because as you know, anything done online, so as you know, when customers order online from your website, they have to manually enter their credit card numbers inside here. Okay. So what happens when they do this is it's called a card not present transaction. And this works the same for all online orders because they're manually entering their credit card number in. They're not physically handing it to you, or physically, I guess a better way to say it, they're not physically inserting the card inside your credit card machine or the Clover device, which is called card present transactions. So when these type of transactions occur, these are called card not present, and they're considered higher risk. So you want to protect yourself from chargebacks because these transactions can get a chargeback. So the bank will send you an email, or you'll get some kind of notice that somebody disputed a transaction. So it doesn't always happen to restaurants, but it can happen, and it may have happened to you. And it is frustrating, it is challenging, and it's something that restaurants do have to deal with. So I'm going to show you some steps you can take to help minimize that. So in the Clover dashboard, what you want to do is you want to go under Account and Setup right here. See at the very bottom. Remember, when I say Clover dashboard, I'm talking about clover.com from your laptop or computer. You log in, you choose your location, right? And then on that location, you press Account and Setup. So if you have multiple locations, you're going to have to do this several times because each location fraud tools has to be set up individually. So I press Account and Setup, and then I go down here and I look for the word fraud tools. At the time of this video, it's under e-commerce, okay? So it may change somewhere else, so keep vigilant because I make a lot of videos on the back end, and sometimes these things change around. But just look for the word fraud tools and you'll see it. Okay, so here's fraud prevention tools, right? And what you're trying to do here is trying to minimize it. So what you want to do is find the right balance, okay? You don't want to set too many rules and then lose customers because they have to do so many verification and they have to enter so much information just to order some food. And at the same time, you don't want to be too relaxed where you may get chargebacks. So again, you can check all the boxes and still get a chargeback, right? Or you can check no boxes and never get a chargeback. So chargebacks can occur for various reasons, right? It can occur because somebody did not know your refund policy and they did a chargeback because they got the wrong order. It could be a chargeback because somebody used somebody's credit card. It could be a chargeback for a lot of different reasons. And those things are something you want to help protect yourself. So the first thing now you want to do is you want to make sure your refund policy is very clear to your customers so they don't do a chargeback, okay? If your refund policy is clear, your customers know how to order from you, your business address is very clear on their credit card statement, and you're still getting a chargeback, so what you can do is you can come back here and do some additional setup here. So one thing you want to do, or you can do, is ask for their let's take a look here. You know what, let me choose this specific location here. This one is Stafford. Okay, let me choose that one actually. Oops. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to go to this location because I want to show you in real time what I'm doing here. Fraud tools. Okay. So right now on the checkout page, it's asking me for credit card number, month, year, CVV, and zip code. That's all it's asking me, right? As long as these things match up, the bank approves the credit card, right? If these things match up, the bank approves it. That's what the bank usually looks for transactions. But we're gonna kind of add some additional criteria here, okay? So we're gonna ask for the postal code. If the postal code does not match, to decline the card, okay? So if these things are not provided, it won't work. Okay, so we're gonna make sure the street address matches the credit card number too. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll make sure the street address is provided. Okay. This one I would not check the box because this will give you a lot of declines. So you want to make sure there's a balance, okay? Because if you do too strict, then most of your customers cannot order because they have to make sure everything is correct. Somebody may not know their full address or something, or they may know it, but they may misspell a few words. They may have a long address and they just move there and then they put the wrong letter in there and then the card gets declined. So you want to kind of not too strict and not too relaxed. So, okay, this one is good for here. Okay, I put postal code has to match, street address has to be provided. Okay, so this one I'm not going to check. So this one could throw a lot of declines. I will not do that. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, now here's transaction limits, okay? So if you're a restaurant and your average transaction is $50 or $30 or $20, you can actually prevent like big orders like over $200 or over $500, right? So for example, I can say a single transaction is greater than $200. A single transaction is less than $50. Well, obviously, I mean, you don't want to decline low transactions, but you want to decline high transactions. Okay, so these things are optional because you know your business better than I do. I'm just giving you ideas because every business across the U.S., the location, what they're selling, all these things have different factors involved. So there's no one fit solution for everybody. Okay, see, there's a lot of options here. So what you want to do is kind of come back here from time to time and see what kind of chargebacks you're getting and try to tighten it up, right? Let's say you're getting an order from a specific customer all the time, and and you notice several chargebacks. So you can say number transaction per IP is greater than, right? So if you have a somebody with a specific IP that's you think he's using fraudulent credit card, you can come over here and put a limit. So you can say a limit of 2. So he can't order back to back. Because usually what happens with people that tend to take people's credit cards, they order a bunch of stuff all in one day, and then later on you'll see like 10 chargebacks because it's all done by one person. If you do have that problem, you can come here and prevent a single transaction from prevent that one person from that IP address ordering a lot of times. So you can say within 24 hours, the most he can order is 2 times within 24 hours, okay? And you can say all transactions, right? Oh, sorry, 23. Okay, so basically what this is saying is that one number of transaction per IP is greater than 2. So in other words, think of an IP address as being somebody's computer, and they can only order 2 times within 23 hours, okay? Again, be very careful when you do these things because you may have a loyal customer that loves your business and they're ordering all the time, and if you set this up and then now they can't order from you more than 2 times in 23 hours, right? So you have to be very careful when you do these rules because you're gonna get more declines, and declines are not a good experience for the customer because if they're your regular customers and you're making it hard for them, then they will order from somewhere else. So try to find that balance, okay? I'm just showing you the possibilities here. Okay, and you have a number of identical transactions. So you can say you don't want 3 transactions which is identical, which is like $50, $50, $50 within 60 minutes, right? Okay, you can do that as well. Okay, so if you have a customer that tends to order every day at lunchtime from you for 3 of his friends, and he orders $50, $50, $50 four times, that means this guy will get blocked. So keep in mind who your customers are and what they're doing, okay? But if you never get that type of transaction and all of a sudden you are, then you can come here and help protect yourself with that, okay? And again, there's more rules here. If you go through here, there's tons of rules. Total refund amount is greater than. Well, obviously, you customers cannot do refunds here, but this is, you want to look for the settings where they're ordering themselves, okay? And then there's other additional options. So anyhow, so what I did here is I put the street address, okay? So what do I have here? Street address. See, there's no street address here. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. So it's very important that when you do these things, you have to press save. Sometimes merchants will check all these boxes and then they'll just go somewhere else, but they forget to press save right here. See save? Make sure you press that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and press it. So in this case here, if you make a rule here, you'll have to come back and press save, okay? So it says these may take up to an hour to show up on your payments page, okay? So let's take a look if it does show up. Right now it says, so right now it's card number, expiration date, CVV, zip code. One thing to keep in mind that is we do not process the credit card transaction for you. We allow customers to order online and the order is sent to your Clover. What you see here is an iframe that Clover offers merchants to accept online orders. I know sometimes customers call us and ask us to add all these additional things in here, but this thing you see here is called an iframe. This is Clover's way of accepting credit cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and refresh the page, and hopefully it asks for the street address now. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm gonna choose it now. Yeah, street address, see? So what did I just do? All I did was I go in the back end and I said that the postal code has to be verified, the street address has to be provided. If it doesn't match up, decline the credit card, okay? And you don't have to do this, but if it does come down to it, and this is something you have to do to help mitigate chargebacks, then go ahead and do that. So again, chargebacks happen. If it does happen, I know it's very frustrating, and it's not easy to deal with because it takes time away from your business and you have to figure out why this customer did that. I mean, one thing you can do is call the customer and ask them why they did a chargeback. Sometimes it could be a friendly chargeback. A friendly chargeback is where they don't know your refund policy or they don't know that you can do a refund and they just do a chargeback, which is not something ideal that the customer should be doing. They just probably confused. So you may want to call them if you have their phone number and ask them, how you can make their day better or what was the issue. But again, when you call them, be very polite. I know customers, merchants, at the time of a chargeback, they may get a little upset and they may call the customer in an angry tone. You want to approach them in a kind tone of voice and ask them the reason, because sometimes you'll be surprised. Sometimes they just may have done it because they wanted to do a refund because they got the wrong order and they didn't know how to do a refund, so they did a chargeback. So it's a good idea to first ask them that question. Okay, so anyhow, take into account this fraud prevention tools, and remember, if you're watching this video in 2023 or a later time and you see a bunch of more options here, that's because Clover always updates their backend with new features, new options. My last video did not have all these did not have most of these features here. Now it has more features because Clover is trying to give the merchants more tools to help prevent these things from happening, okay? And then if you do all this and you still get a chargeback, one thing you can do is you can write a custom message or a custom pop-up message. Let me see if I can have one here. Okay, so what you can do is do a custom pop-up message on your order online page where you can state that you have the right to check IDs for online orders. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let's see if it says it here. Yeah, there you go. See, we randomly check IDs for online orders to ensure order accuracy. please be prepared to have your ID ready. So you can, you know, if you want to make sure that in case a chargeback is happening because you're giving the food to somebody else and the staff did not notice that, you can actually write this message on your order online page. This way the mix-up does not happen and you don't get a chargeback. And the other thing you can do with this message is that you know, if there's a huge order over $100 or $50, you can check their ID to make sure it belongs to them, it's the right person, and you can verify that it is the individual with the card itself. So this message can help out if you do need additional way of stopping that. And this is done from the back end. So let me show you how to do that from the back end. It's under, actually I have another video on that you can watch. It's just a custom store announcement where you add the message. And then they'll get that message here. See, like this example here, they kind of wrote something different about their menu here. So just like writing some text here right above the menu, or you can do a pop-up message. Okay, and if you do get an app through us, you know, you can also have that message on there too. Like this merchant has an iPhone app with us, Android app, which we also offer to business owners. With their own logo and branding, and if you do want that, you can also add the same message on that on the app as well. All right, hopefully this video kind of helped out. Again, account setup, fraud tools. Make sure to choose a correct location first, and then go here, because if you have another location, you'll have to do this all over again. All right. Thank you again for watching, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe for the next video.